Her urgency is met with skepticism until a formidable aura erupts, signaling Zhuang Jian's end of seclusion. Upon seeing him, Qingye rushes to his side with a sorrowful look. "Your guards tried to stop me," she confessed. As punishment, he had commanded them to slap themselves. Zhuangjian, with concern evident in his eyes, inquires, "Who else upset you?" She admits that it was because of Zhun Linglong. She had become enamored with a rather arrogant young boy named Zhun Xiaoyao. The mere mention of Xiaoyao's name caused Zhuangjian's anger to flare, and he reflexively struck her. His two guards watched, mouths agape at the sudden turn of events. Zhuangjian urgently asked her if she had spoken his name in Zhun Xiaoyao's presence, chiding her for her reckless behavior. In his mind, Zhuangjian recognized the gravity of the situation. Zhun Xiaoyao was highly regarded by the 18th generation ancestor and was the offspring of the Zhang family goddess. Offending him could jeopardize his family's esteemed position in the 10th sequence. Resolving to make amends, Zhuangjian decided to approach Zhun Xiaoyao with an apology. Elsewhere, in the Lord's mansion, Xiaoyao's grandfather was fuming, disappointed in his grandson's antics. Xiaoyao, ever the charmer, tried to console him, insisting that he would always be his grandfather's cherished gem. His grandfather, however, was not easily swayed, pushing Xiaoyao away and warning him against his crafty demeanor. With a stern countenance, he inquired about the technique Xiaoyao had previously employed. Xiaoyao revealed that it was the divine elephant imprisoning qi. Legend held that a true master of this technique could beckon the gates of hell and marshal a demon army at will. Concerned, his grandfather questioned if there was a threat of demonic possession. Xiaoyao reassured him of its safety. Impressed, the elder decided to celebrate Xiaoyao's upcoming 10th birthday with a grand feast. Many influential immortals would grace the occasion, and it would also be the day they would announce his zero-sequence identity, heralding a new era. With the system triggered a new check-in location. Lost in his thoughts about the upcoming event and potential rewards, Xiaoyao was jolted back to reality by Linglong's sudden appearance. She informed him that Zhun Zhuangjian from the Heavenly Emperor's palace seeks an audience with him. Taken aback by this unexpected appearance, Xiaoyao turned to Linglong, seeking clarity. With a gentle reminder of his previous words about making their abode feel like home, she then relayed Zhuangjian's intent. She explains that he is none other than the young master whom Lan Qingye faithfully follows. What's more, she reveals that they share the same clan lineage, urging Xiaoyao to consider him as his clan brother. Xiaoyao, his face marked by a mix of confusion and curiosity, can't help but inquire, "Who is Lan Qingye again?" Linglong describes her as the girl with the incredibly noisy voice. At that moment, a spark of recognition ignites within Xiaoyao, as the memory of that unmistakably loud voice resurfaces in his mind. As the divine child and Linglong approaches at the door, Xiaoyao's expression shifts from curiosity to tension, his anger simmering just beneath the surface. His gaze locks onto the unfolding situation, revealing a bound and helpless Lan Qingye, constrained by a web of unforgiving spikes and ropes. Zhuangjian, standing nearby, finally breaks his silence, explaining that he had heard rumors of his followers' disrespectful behavior and the offense it had caused Xiaoyao. To make amends, he presents Lan Qingye as a symbolic offering of humility and apology. His words convey a sense of hope that Xiaoyao will find it in his heart to forgive this young girl. However, Xiaoyao's angered face betrays his inner thoughts. He can't help but see through Zhuangjian's grandiose gesture as an attempt to assert his authority in his presence. In his mind, the term jerk is a fitting description for his ulterior motives, and he is determined to unravel the truth behind this elaborate display. Xiaoyao responds calmly, acknowledging the abruptness of his clan brother's arrival and apologizes for offering just a cup of tea as a customary gesture of hospitality. However, Zhuangjian refutes his words, retorts that it was he who acted rashly. His anger stems from witnessing Linglong pouring tea and Xiaoyao seemingly using her as a servant, a sight that did not sit well with him. Xiaoyao, feeling a growing sense of discomfort, directly questions Zhuangjian about the fate of Lan Qingye, who is still kneeling in a vulnerable position. Zhuangzhan explains that this is a consequence of Lan Qingya's disrespectful behavior towards Xiaoyao, and suggests that if Xiaoyao can find it within his heart to forgive the transgression, Lan Qingya need not endure this punishment. Unperturbed, Xiaoyao asserts his own approach, emphasizing that he does not hold grudges. He reveals his personal philosophy. When offended, he believes in immediate retaliation. Xiaoyao makes it clear that he sees no need for elaborate apologies that hide ulterior motives. Linglong, amused by Xiaoyao's response, can't help but hold back a chuckle, urging the exchange to continue. However, Zhuangzhan, his face twisted with anger, interprets Xiaoyao's words as dissatisfaction with his apology. Suddenly, without warning, he launches an attack towards Lan Qingya with his sword. Thankfully, Linglong intervenes swiftly, saving Qin Linga from the potentially lethal strike. Turns to her and asks incredulously, "Is this the master you serve?" The situation takes an even more unexpected turn, leaving everyone present on edge. Amidst the escalating tension, Xiaoyao takes a bold step, addressing Zhuangzhan with a fiery determination. His face etched with anger, Xiaoyao demands immediate action within the sacred confines of the Heavenly Emperor's palace, catching Zhuangzhan off guard with his audacity. Zhuangzhan, gripped by fear at the prospect of Xiaoyao's wrath, quickly attempts to defuse the situation. He insists that it was all a misunderstanding and pleads for Xiaoyao's composure, but Xiaoyao was at a boiling point as he metaphorically flips the table on their encounter. The tension reaches its climax when Xiaoyao, believing that Zhuangzhan is there to intimidate him, decides to take matters into his own hands. He launches an attack, and to his astonishment, Zhuangzhan struggles to defend himself against the formidable strength of the seemingly 3-year-old Xiaoyao. Xiaoyao asks that did he lie to retaliate against those who offend him. With a sly grin, he mockingly suggests a spar to strengthen their brotherly bond, further infuriating Zhuangzhan. Despite his anger, Zhuangzhan manages to restrain himself and agrees to the challenge. He stipulates that he will use only 30% of his strength, and if Xiaoyao emerges victorious, he can claim the coveted Yuan Tian Supreme Command. However, should Zhun Xiaoyao fail, he must apologize. Intrigued by the prospect of the Yuan Tian Supreme Command, Zhun Xiaoyao telepathically confers with Linglong, seeking advice. Linglong emphasizes the importance of seizing this opportunity, hinting at its potential connection to the Supreme Secret Treasure, a concept that resonates with the powerful beings of the ancient immortal realm, eternal and indestructible. Xiaoyao, his expression now wickedly eager, thanks Zhuangzhan for his generosity, sending shivers down Zhuangzhan's spine. The divine child of the Zhun family may have just revealed a money-grubbing side to his character after all. Zhuangzhan, beads of sweat forming on his tired face, he is locked in a fierce battle with Xiaoyao. It's a bewildering experience for him. After all, he is the highly esteemed 10th sequence of the Zhun family, a widely recognized genius. Yet, here he stands, struggling against a seemingly 3-year-old opponent. Thoughts race through his mind, wondering how this situation came to be. With an air of playful mischief, Xiaoyao twists and turns, urging Zhuangzhan to hang on, further fueling his frustration. As the spectacle unfolds, a crowd starts to gather around, their whispers and murmurs audible to all. Someone in the crowd recognizes the spar between Zhuangzhan and the divine child, while another voice questions whether this is an act of bullying, considering Xiaoyao's tender age. A response from the crowd confirms that Zhuangzhan has failed to land a single blow on Xiaoyao so far. Zhuangzhan, feeling the weight of the situation, takes a deep breath and unleashes his formidable sword Qi, a vibrant purple energy that draws gasps of astonishment from onlookers. Some speculate that he won't hold back, as he can't bear the thought of losing. As Zhuangzhan issues a warning before launching an attack, brandishing his sword with precision, Linglong, ever watchful, recognizes this as an advanced technique even within the esteemed Zhun family lineage. She senses the calculated strategy behind his moves but remains unperturbed. In a flash, Xiaoyao gracefully dodges Zhuangzhan's attack and skillfully disarms him, sending his sword clattering to the ground. With a swift and powerful strike, Xiaoyao lands a blow on Zhuangzhan, causing him to lose a tooth in the process. With a triumphant grin, Xiaoyao seizes the coveted supreme token, celebrating his hard-earned victory. Meanwhile, Linglong, ever composed, tends to Qin Lingya's injuries and imparts sage advice. Neither Zhuangzhan's skills nor his character are as impressive as they may seem. Qin Lingya, infuriated by this revelation, struggles to accept the truth about the man she had admired. Qin Lingya, her face stained with tears, vehemently rejects any notion of pity. In a fit of rage, she utters the names of Zhun Zhuangzhan, Zhun Linglong, and Zhun Xiaoyao, vowing revenge under the banner of the Zhun surname. Linglong, still puzzled by her intense fury, questions what has triggered such a reaction. Xiaoyao, ever the master of sarcasm, chimes in with a sardonic comment, to which Linglong responds matter-of-factly, "Wasn't I telling the truth?" Xiaoyao dismissively suggests that if Qin Lingya wants to engage in battle, she shouldn't seek him out, making it clear he has no interest in dealing with her otherwise. Linglong, still somewhat perplexed, watches as the seasons pass in a noisy and bustling manner, witnessing the transition from summer to autumn, then winter to spring. Unbeknownst to all, 7 years quietly slip by. A charming young girl, accompanied by a bird perched upon her shoulder, arrives at the Jun clan's Divine Island. Members of different clans begin to gather for the grand celebration of the Divine Child's birthday. Servants, carrying Xiaoyao's birthday attire, chat excitedly about the prestigious event and the attendance of noble families from far and wide. They eventually reach the location where Xiaoyao is in seclusion. Upon entering, one of the servant greets the Divine Child, but to his surprise, instead of the Divine Child, they found a message from him saying that he's feeling bored and has decided to step out and have some fun. While eating an apple, Xiaoyao proudly boasts of subsisting solely on fasting pills, unable to eat anything else during his 3 years of training. With tears of joy, he finally was able to eat fruits. He swears on his family name that he never go back into seclusion. Linglong laments that the most trying aspect of seclusion is the inability to take a bath. When Xiaoyao inquires about Linglong's unexpected presence, she nonchalantly reveals that she's here to keep an eye on him. Startled by her sentence, Xiaoyao turns around and hastily makes his escape, saying goodbye, with Linglong hot on his heels. She warns him that it will take half a day to don his birthday robe, and he'll be late for the event. Xiaoyao, however, rejects the notion of formality and promises to attend after some relaxation. Amidst their exchange, a cry for help rings out, grabbing Xiaoyao's attention and halting his movements. In the middle of the crowd, a young girl boldly takes on a grown man, ordering him to cease his cries and deeming him a monster for injuring her pet's tiny foot. The man's boss, seemingly mortified, offers apologies to the irate young lady, who stubbornly refuses, insisting that her pet's talon has been fractured irreparably. The boss, eager to resolve the matter, extends a compensation offer and inquires about her demands. However, the girl's rage intensifies as she passionately exclaims that she doesn't want compensation. She wants to break the man's leg in retaliation for the harm inflicted upon her pet. Meanwhile, Xiaoyao observes this bizarre spectacle from a nearby rooftop, pondering the origins of this spirited child. He surmises that this individual must also be a cultivator. Taking matters into his own hands, Xiaoyao decides to intervene, tossing a fruit core as a subtle lesson. The girl, sensing the incoming projectile, swiftly deflects it, shouting in the direction of the apparent sneak attack, demanding an explanation. As realization dawns upon the young girl, she examines her wet hand and throws away the wet seed. Xiaoyao, amused by her reaction, casually remarks that such actions are better suited for bullying ordinary people. This only further enrages the girl, who, in a fit of anger, brands Xiaoyao an ugly monster for interfering in her affairs. Unfazed by the girl's outburst, Xiaoyao retorts, "Whoever calls another an ugly monster is the actual ugly monster." The girl's fury intensifies, prompting her to launch an attack at Xiaoyao. She attempts to land a punch, but Xiaoyao effortlessly dodges her strike, realizing that she harbors no intention of causing him serious harm. Her frustration mounting, the girl challenges Xiaoyao to a 300-round duel. Xiaoyao, taunting her playfully, asks her to catch him first if she possesses the capability. Upon hearing this, the girl begins to chase after Xiaoyao. Meanwhile, Linglong keenly observes the unfolding drama, noting the emblem on the girl's attire, an emblem associated with the Zhang family of Qinzhou. She quickly deduces the young girl's background, When comparing her decision to stop them or enjoying the show, she decides to spectacle that has unfolded before her. Far away from the city, Xiaoyao and the young girl find themselves by a serene riverside. Xiaoyao can't help but admire the girl's exceptional speed, a clear sign that she's no ordinary adversary. Exhausted from their chase, the girl asserts that she won't release Xiaoyao until she defeats him. While Xiaoyao, thinking how to wrap the situation, notices a firework signal illuminating the sky, signaling the commencement of his 10th birthday feast. Realizing he's running out of time, he makes a quick decision to bring their encounter to an end. With a swift move, he launches an attack on the girl. In nightfall, fireworks illuminating the sky at the prestigious Sky Emperor's palace, two ladies from the Zhang family makes a grand entrance at the birthday feast. Others chats about the remarkable array of gifts, including an ancient sacred weapon, elixirs, top-grade sacred pills, and premium divine essence. The guests are left in awe at the generosity of the Zhang family's offerings. Two members of the Zhang family draw particular attention: a striking lady named Zhang Shenji and a spirited young girl by the name of Zhang Luoli. Observers note that Zhang Luoli doesn't seem particularly pleased, with some speculating that her engagement to the divine child of the Jun family may be causing her discomfort. Zhang Shenji admonishes Zhang Luoli to refrain from running off again, to which Luoli defiantly responds that if she catches the ugly creature, she'll give him a thrashing of a lifetime. Back at the riverside, Xiaoyao successfully subdues the girl, tying her up after she loses consciousness. Zhang Shenji attempts to calm her down, explaining that the young hero has no harmful intentions. If so, attending the birthday feast would be not possible. Zhang Luoli, however, she accuses Zhang Shenji of siding against her. A young man appears and greets Luoli, but she fails to recognize him. He introduces himself as Yi Xingyun of the ancient Yi family. Despite his attempts to jog her memory, she greets him and quickly departs. Her sister reminds her that she is being rude. Luoli explains that she suffers from face blindness, making it challenging for her to remember common faces. Yi Xingyun, somewhat shaken, is comforted by his uncle. Xingyun was joyful to see her behavior. Inside the main hall, Zhan Tian expresses his gratitude to all the distinguished guests who have traveled from afar to attend the feast. His thoughts linger on the spirited young attendees, including 10th sequence Jun Zhanjian, 7th sequence Jun Shuiwang, 5th sequence Jun Wanji, Yi Xingyun of the ancient Yi family, and the representatives from the Qingzhou Zhang family, Zhang Shenji and Zhang Luoli. Amidst the gathering, a curious guest wonders aloud, "I wonder where the divine child of the Jun family is and why he hasn't arrived yet." Zhan Tian, with a concerned expression, struggles to provide an answer, secretly pondering, "I also don't know where that kid has run off to." Just as he contemplates stalling for more time, the roof unexpectedly collapses, and a figure descends through it. With an air of nonchalance, Xiaoyao lands amidst the shocked and bewildered crowd, declaring, "Worry not, old man." As the attendees grapple with their surprise, Xiaoyao continues, "Doesn't the main character always appear last? I am Jun Xiaoyao. Thank you all for attending my 10th birthday banquet.